Most e-commerce brands are leaving money on the table every single day and they don't even realize it. They think email marketing is just about blasting campaigns, newsletters, and email blasts, but the real power is in automated email flows that run on autopilot, turning visitors into loyal repeat customers. I've helped brands go from 0 to 30% of their revenue coming from email marketing in just under 60 days just by optimizing their email flows. And today, I'm breaking down everything you need to know to set up your own email system the right way so it makes you money 24/7. This is not a short tutorial, it's a complete masterclass, and by the time we're done, you'll have a fully built out email marketing system inside Klaviyo step by step. So grab a coffee, sit back, and stick around because this will be the only email flow tutorial you'll ever need, so let's get started.
Why email flows are so critical for scaling. So most e-commerce brands are obsessed with acquisition, right? Throwing money at meta, influencers, SEOs to get new customers. But what happens after the first sale? Nothing. That's why most stores are unprofitable, because they focus too much on getting new customers, but don't do anything to retain customers or convert people that are already visiting your site, interested in your content, things like that. Here's why Flow changes everything. Flows are run automatically, which will help you turn one-time buyers into repeat customers without extra work. They also help in increasing the customer's lifetime value, which means you'll make more from every buyer. Third, they will cover lost revenue from things like abandoned carts, checkout drops, or inactive subscribers. And the crazy part, most brands don't even have half of these set up properly, nor are they even good. So in this video, we're going to be building out every essential flow inside Klaviyo step by step. I'm going to talk about the contents, the triggers, and also show some of the design examples. So these are the essential email flows step by step to build them. So before we even get into that, we need to find out where to even build these flows. So get on Klaviyo and you want to go onto your Klaviyo dashboard and click on the flows tab. And on this page, you can pretty much find flows that's already been mapped out for you, such as the welcome series or abandoned cart, browse abandonment, things like that, or we can just build our own flow here, depending on how difficult you want this to be. So the first flow that we'll be building out is the welcome series flow. This helps in turning visitors into customers. So the trigger for this is when someone joins your email list, whether that's from, pop-ups or footer signups, checkout, things like that. And then for the email content, these are just some common ones that you can use. Email 1 can be something like an instant welcome discount. Email 2 can be something about brand story and mission, why they should trust you. Email 3, you can include things like social proof and bestsellers, which will help build excitement and also educate the audience about what you have to offer. And then as a last chance email, you can always do a last chance offer discount. If your welcome offer was, let's say 5%, we can always give them an extra 5% for a total of 10%, and then also give them some urgency. So having an offer that expires in 24 hours and something that's increased from the original offer will help the customer have more urgency to complete their purchase. So here's for the flow setup. So for the triggers, it's when someone subscribed to your list. So that list name will depend on what you name people that are opting into your pop-ups, newsletter, checkout page, things like that. And then for flow filters, want to place their orders over all time. And the reason for this profile filter is because we don't want to keep sending them emails if they have already ordered somewhere between their journey and the welcome series. We don't want to keep sending them content about welcoming them to the brand because they're already purchased. So here are just some design examples from brands like Casper, Gymshark, Dark Sports, Boulder, and you can pretty much see how in the welcome email, the email content is usually kind of just welcoming into the brand, and then some brands offer a discount code for their first order. Next, we have the abandoned checkout and cart flow. So this flow helps in recovering lost sales. So the trigger for this is when someone starts checkout but doesn't complete the purchase. And then email content for this that we can use is reminder what's in their cart. We can always highlight product benefits and add any social proofs like testimonials or customer highlights. And then we can also offer a small incentive only if it works for your brand, it works for your market, and it works for your business. So this is how the abandoned checkout flow should look like. So the trigger is checkout started, and then flow filters. We want to have placed order 0 times since starting this flow and hasn't been in this flow in the last 7 days. And then for your abandoned cart, the trigger is added to cart and has placed 0 orders since starting this flow. Checkout started 0 times to starting the flow and hasn't been in this flow in the last 30 days. Here are just some design examples from abandoned checkout and cart emails. So usually the content can be the same, but make sure to change out the CTA to kind of match the journey. So let's say this email was for their abandoned checkout. Make sure the CTA kind of says something like complete your cart now, return to your cart instead of checkout now. But again, this kind of works for abandoned cart too. And then for the design, note how there's always a white space here to kind of show the product dynamically to people that are abandoning their product. So over this, we'll probably cut off something here to add the dynamic product here, something like this, probably cut off a space here, and then same thing for here, we'll probably make a white space here to add that dynamic product. Next, we have browse and site abandonment flows, and these flows really help in bringing back Windows shoppers. So the trigger for this usually is when someone views a product but doesn't add to their cart. And then for email content, we can always use angles like still thinking about this, reminder, show the product dynamically, and then we can also perhaps showcase some bestsellers and customer testimonials. And then in this flow, we can always offer a time-sensitive incentive as well. So something like, 5% off in the next 24 hours or, 10% off in the next 24 hours, whichever works for your business. And then here is the setup flow for browse abandonment. Trigger is view product, and then flow filters you must add is checkout start 0 times, place order 0 times, add to cart 0 times, hasn't been in flow in the last 30 days. And this is how the triggers look like when you're starting it out. And then this is the flow setup for active on site. Flow filters for this is you want to place order 0 times, checkout start 0 times, view product 0 times, add it to cart 0 times, hadn't been in this flow in the last 90 days. Here's the trigger, and then here is the profile filters. And then here we have browse and site abandonment, and this really helps in bringing back Windows shoppers. So the trigger for this is when someone views a product but doesn't add to their cart. And then some email content angle that we can use is still think about this reminder, showcase bestsellers and customer testimonial, and then even offer a time-sensitive incentive. For the abandoned checkout flow setup, this is how it will look like. Trigger is view product, checkout start 0 times, place order 0 times, add to cart 0 times, and has not been in the flow in the last 30 days. So this is how your browse abandonment flow setup should look like. Now this is the flow setup for the abandoned site. So the trigger is active on the site, and the flow filters would be place order 0 times, checkout 0 times, view product 0 times, add to cart 0 times, and hasn't been in flow in the last 90 days. So this is how the profiles and triggers should look like. And here's just some design examples from some brands we work with. Browse abandonment, site abandonment, as you can see, we kind of use a angle of, we kind of see you scroll around this site, this is what we have to offer, things like that. Same thing, kind of noticing, checking us out. If your order is here, this email we will be using sort of like a incentive angle. Number 4 is post-purchase. This really helps in maximizing customer retention. So the trigger for this is a customer completes a purchase. So email angles for this is order confirmation with the upsell suggestion, product usage tips and brand values, and even a review request. So this is the flow setup for the post-purchase series. So trigger is place order, and then flow filters would be place order equals 0 times overall time, and has cancel order 0 times since starting this flow. So this is how that post-purchase flow should look like. Trigger, place order, and then profile filters would be this. Here's just some design examples of a post-purchase series. And these emails were using a tips and tricks angle. Welcome to the community. Thank you for, your first purchase. Here's 50% off your next. Thank them for your support. And then kind of give them congratulations on their purchase. Do a little founder story in the end as well. And the next flow we'll cover is the upsell and bounce back flow, which will help in increasing average order value automatically. So the trigger for this is when a customer buys a product. Email angles we can use is people who have loved this also have bought this, or even a limited time bundle offer, or just a regular offer. So the setup for this is trigger, place order, and then it's cancel 0 orders since starting this flow, and it's place order equals 1 time over all time. And then this upsell bounce back flow can just be for, first time orders. If they're second time purchasers, they won't receive this email. So how this flow here works is when someone places an order, they get an email 15 minutes later saying, if they order again, they'll get a really good discount on this order, but they have to use in the next 48 hours, which will help you guys increase your average order value. And here's just some design examples of upsell / bounce back emails. Next, we have win back and replenishment flows, which will help you guys bring back old customers. Triggers for this is when a customer hasn't purchased in a while, and then the email is usually we can do content like we missed you plus exclusive offer, and then also replenishment reminder if it's a consumable product. So this is the flow setup. Trigger is place order, and it's place order 0 times since starting this flow, and depending on your purchase life cycle, you want to change the delay. So this is for the win back series. So after 90 days after they place an order and they haven't placed an order since then, they'll get entered into this win back series. Here's just some design examples. So as you can see, we're kind of using a offer angle in most of these emails here. Next, we have VIP and loyalty flows. So this is to reward your best customers. And the trigger for this is when a customer reaches VIP status. So whether that's from multiple purchases, high spend, or whatever your criteria is. And then email angles we can use is exclusive discounts for the VIPs or early access to sales and new products for, again, the VIPs. So here is how the flow setup should look like. Once they're added into the VIP customer segment, after 30 days, they'll get into the VIP program. That's where we'll give them, VIP discounts or early accesses to sales. And then again, place orders 0 times since starting this flow. And then for the segment, this is what you kind of want to use when someone has placed orders greater than 2 times or if their revenue is greater than 100. So usually for my criteria, I do for the number amount is 2.5 the AOV. And then for this, you can always do just they place order 2-3 times. And again, if they can receive email marketing. And then finally, here are just some design examples for a VIP flow.
If you made it this far, you now have everything you need to build a fully automated email system inside Klaviyo that runs 24/7, increases customer lifetime value, and boosts revenue without needing to increase ad spend. I've used these exact flows to help brands add over 10 million in email revenue. And if you want to shortcut this process, here's what to do next. Drop a comment if you have any questions, I'll personally answer them. And if you want this entire system set up for you, book a free strategy call with me, and let's talk about scaling your email revenue fast, and I'll see you in the next one.